after another 3 or 4 months, they say reject. And you already has some hope. You know, you want to make your supervisor happy, you want to graduate. Some of the students have a very limited time for scholarships. Then it's very important for them to publish. So you are under pressure. Your scholarship will be finished. Your supervisor will not be happy. You see your friends graduate, and you are still there. Yeah, it's very difficult. But if your paper get accepted, then you will feel yourself flying. Yeah, and you will tell everybody, guys, this is my paper accepted, especially if it is in impact factor journal. The first impact factor journal paper, you will not forget it. Because to you, it's a kind of being back. You do a lot of work, and then this is the payback. They pay you back. Okay, they appreciate what you did. They say, okay, you are doing something valuable to be disseminated to the knowledge, to the high-ranked scholars. But so you have to be more ambitious. But if you just accept anything, just to publish, you can publish from the second day. Okay? As soon as you have results, just submit to conference or to journals that are not necessarily indexed by Scopus or ISR, and then maybe you get accepted. Some of journals, they call it junk journals. Junk. You just pay some money, maybe $50, $75, $100, and then you will get accepted after 1 week. Even they will not give you even one comment. Yeah. So it seems like you are lying on yourself. And your supervisor will not be that happy because he knows about these things. Okay, and you will not appreciate what you are doing. And you will be shaken when you get in your Viva, because this is not a publication. You will get a very hard and tough time during the defense, because you want to defense more and more. So this is the importance for publication. So try to plan for yourself to publish in a good place. Who will know that good place? Your supervisor knows well. If your supervisor knows well, then try to ask anybody else. What is the best thing? I'm very ambitious. Just tell me, where should I submit my paper? Even if it's not get accepted, at least I will get some feedback that will correct my path. Okay? So what to publish? You have to identify your ideas. What part of my work should be published? You have to have a strategy for publication. It's not that as soon as I have a result, then I will just publish. You have to have a plan. Strategy. In which order should I go? This is what we mean by strategy. Your work may be connected. Some parts depends on other parts. So you need to publish the first part and then in sequence. And you need to have a strategy. If you are good enough in writing, then you can market your research results well. You can make from a simple aid something big. If you have the writing abilities, and if you can attract the attention of the examiners, tell them that this is something important. So you have to have strategy. If you have, for example, three objectives, For example, this is objective 1, 2, 3. Maybe this one is applicable more for PhD, not for masters, but it's okay. You will get the benefits of that. So objective 1, 2, and 3. For first, maybe you need to publish objective 1. And then objective 2 will be based on the paper published in objective 1. And 3 will be based on both of them. Okay? So you will get out of 3 publications, at least. 3 publications, at least, from objectives. From 3 objectives. But some people who are not ambitious, they just put their eggs in one basket. This is a proverb, says, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put them in one basket. Just put them in different or separate bases. Okay? Some of students or researchers are not that ambitious, so they just write one paper for everything. And then it could be okay, but sometimes even the examiners will not understand what you are doing if you are not organized enough. Okay? I had in my PhD around 4 objectives, and out of those 4 objectives, I came out of 12 publications. 8 journals, papers, and 4 conferences. If you have a plan, you are planned well. Okay, so this is what we mean by identify your ideas, what are the things that you need to publish, and you have to have a strategy. Evaluate the degree of novelty of your proposed publication. If you have something that is novel enough, novel means new, something that will make a break in this research. So this is what we mean by novelty. Novelty means new, something new, something new. So these kinds of things, you have to evaluate the degree of novelty, and based on this, maybe you plan where you are going to publish. If you have some novelty that is strong, then don't go for conferences, don't go for journals, which is Scopus. Aim for ISI, which is impact factor. You will see after this what we mean by impact factor. How you are going to evaluate the degree of novelty? Of course, by the help of your advisor, supervisor, discussing with him. He will say, okay, this part of work, I think it deserves to be published in high impact factor journal, so you make a plan for this. Or from colleagues, people who are seniors, people who, maybe if you are in the second year PhD, people who are 10th year, they can give you advice and you discuss with them. Based on this evaluation, choose the right place to publish, where to publish. As we said, we'll choose journals instead of conferences, but if you don't have novelty and the idea is just any idea, then you go for conference or for Scopus journal. Okay? So, where to publish? What are the types of publications? This is very important for any research students or for any student who is doing research. You have conferences. Conferences usually are held to gather people who are working in the same area or in the same sub-area together from worldwide. And it depends if the conference is local or international. Local conferences, they don't have that standards, but international conferences, sometimes they are based than Scopus journals. Okay? So in these conferences, some well-known and famous scholars from around the world, you can see them. And you can go and ask them to give their opinions, and officially, maybe during the lunch, during the dinner, during the free time, you go and show them your work with ADM, maybe 5 minutes, because they are busy people. A lot of people want to see them. So you ask them to give their opinions. Maybe you communicate with them, or make a connection. Give your email and take their emails, and then you can communicate to get some ideas. You have also journals. Journals also, as we said, can be indexed or not indexed. We will see after this. You have also what we call magazines. Magazines are different from journals. Journals, the scope of journals is wide, but the magazine, they have some kind of scope different. And also you have transactions. Transactions are the top and the very difficult place that you can publish in. Transactions. Especially ACM or IEEE are very difficult. Difficult. And sometimes you can publish your work as a book chapter. Some publishers like Wiley, Elsevier, Springer, these are publishers. These publishers, they issue some books under titles. Then the editor of the book calls for papers, and you may submit your work as a chapter in that book for a specific title. For example, using IT for management. For example, there is a book in this title, and then you find your work can be a chapter in that book, and then you just send it. The degree of importance of the books are like conferences. But in conference you have to attend. With a book chapter you just send. They give you some comments, and sometimes they don't give. You just take your work as it is, and then they put it in their books. Publishers, who are the most well-known publishers for our fields, IT and communication, engineering. You have IEEE, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. This is the most popular one. And IEEE has conferences, journals, magazines, transactions, and books. As all of these. ACM, okay. Science Direct, which is Elsevier. InterScience, Springer, Wiley, there are a lot of, but those are the most well-known publishers in our field. Okay? Publication quality. As we said, we care about quality more than quantity. Don't count the number of publications for somebody. If you see the CV or somebody, or you see put in his website list of publication, don't be surprised when you say a long list. Just see the quality, where they publish, where their names in that publications. Are the main authors, or they just insert their name with other friends? And see the coherence of the consistency of the research area. Sometimes his research area is something, and most of publications in different away research area. For example, his research area is networking. And you can find a lot of publications in image processing and multimedia. It means that just friends put his name or her name, maybe for promotion, for the KPI, or making a long list of publications. Maybe those people, they help others, and they just put their names. But it doesn't really mean that they should put their names in this kind of publication. So, in conferences we have indexed conferences and we have non-indexed conferences. Index means there are databases, okay? These databases index the publications, okay? Then when you go and search in these databases, you will find these kind of publications. We have two main indices, which are Scopus and ISI, which are the most important and of high quality. If the conference paper is indexed by Scopus or ISI, then it is deserved to be navigated. It's deserves to read. Okay, but it's not Scopus or ISI, then you are wasting your time. Most probably. So Scopus, most IEEE conferences, ACM also, they are Scopus indexed. ISI is the most high quality. They call it Web of Knowledge. And sometimes they call it Thomson Reuters. This ISI is the agency or the entity that is responsible for giving impact factors for journals every year. Based on what? Based on the number of citations and the number of papers that journal publish per year. And there are also other indices like Google Scholar. Google Scholar also is an index, but it's not that reputable or trusted index. So if you will find a lot of papers and all of them are indexed by Google Scholar. As soon as you put them in a website, then Google Scholar just collect them. And then when any journal say it is indexed by Google Scholar, don't be impressed. It is a very normal. Because Google just collect from the web pages. Okay? And also there is non-indexed. Also, conferences can be classified as local or national and international. Some conferences are very difficult to publish in. Some acceptance rate 8.2, 10.5, 15%. Yes, very difficult, some conferences. Especially those conferences which are now in the 13th version. You will find some conferences, this is 31 conference of something. Means 31 year of gathering in that conference. It means this conference is of high quality and they don't accept anything. The acceptance rate is very low. Okay? Don't be surprised if you find a conference, you send your paper and they said reject. Yeah. Why? This is just a conference. Yeah, but this conference is of high quality. And the people who gather in this conference are the top researchers in the world. Okay? Some of these conferences are now more than 25 years, 30 years, 40 years. Yes. And it is continuous. But the conferences that are just for collecting money, because in the conference we need to pay for registration. For collecting money, you will see them 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and then you will find them disappear. Because the intention of these conferences was just to collect money. And most of these conferences who collects money, these conferences who collects money, they just make it general. They don't make it specific for one topic. They make it in general. Okay? For example, this is the first conference in computer science. Is it computer science? How many areas in computer science? Yes. So don't trust these conferences. Most of these conferences are from India and Middle East. But when you see a conference, for example, this is International Conference of mobile computing, then it is very specific area, just mobile computing.